Frankie was charged with speeding, going 50 in a 35 zone in Ivins, Utah. Happened on August 25th.
Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I've now got the lovely assistant, which is Mike. This is Mike. This is my microphone. I'm holding it to my face because I still need to adjust all the different levels. This kind of helps me not use my hands as much, which I know is a bit annoying, but I'm a very expressive speaker. I do this quite a lot. I use my hands quite a lot, but a lot of people find it extremely distracting. So this is kind of helping me. Beyond the point, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and this is like backing up what I was talking about yesterday. This is like a closing video on the topic of Ruby Franke's court appearance, which was yesterday. She actually had a scheduled court appearance for a traffic violation. She basically got a speeding ticket before she was arrested. The 6 counts of child abuse, which she's being charged for. So keeping all this in mind, she then went on the 18th. She then appeared in court and she pleaded not guilty to going 50 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone. Now, we were talking about this yesterday and I was reading it out because not everyone had heard about it. I thought it was kind of common knowledge. I was just a bit late covering it. And I thought it was really interesting to note because yesterday, the 14th of November 14th, was when she was scheduled, and she did actually go in to find out more about what's going to be happening with the speeding ticket. I did have a couple of people who were saying like, this is so minor, like everyone gets in trouble for speeding and everyone, like, this is such a stupid thing to talk about, but like everyone, like so many people do this isn't news. And I'm like, yeah, but not everyone's Ruby Franke. Not everyone is being done, like is going to be done or is being done or is being charged with 6 counts of child abuse. It's Ruby Franke we're talking about. Like, this isn't just some random Joe off the street. Like, are we talking about the same video? Do you know what I mean? So I do think it is important to note, because yesterday I was like, well, they're obviously not wanting to drop it. They're obviously, you know, wanting to keep the standard. They're still wanting to pursue it. I did think it was absolutely ridiculous how Ruby Franke was even denying it, is saying not guilty. And a few people in my comment section were saying, well, maybe it is because she's just trying to like delay proceedings or whatever. But then the other side of me is like, well, this is traffic court, this isn't criminal court. So I don't know, I just don't think she thinks that she's ever in the wrong. Now, we have actually got the results. It's like a test result. We actually do have a result of what happened yesterday, and this was not what I was expecting actually, and I'm sure this isn't what you guys would have been expecting either. Maybe some of you would, but I definitely didn't.
Frankie was charged with speeding, going 50 in a 35 zone in Ivins, Utah. Happened on August 25th. Her arrest in Ivins with Jody Hildebrandt took place a few days later on August 30th. Frankie entered a not guilty plea on September 18th pertaining to the traffic violation.
So yesterday it says, during the hearing, the city of Ivins asked the judge to dismiss the speeding charge given the nature of the charges that she is currently facing in district court. Ruby's attorney, Lamar Winwood, said, "We agree." The judge then dropped the speeding infraction against Frankie. Regarding Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt's child abuse charges, no new court dates have been set. Now, I didn't think that they would drop it. I did think it was a bit silly that, you know, like in comparison, but of course they are separate crimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, they should be treated differently because they're not the same thing. They're different crimes, different courts, etc., etc. But when you compare them to, obviously, what she's actually being charged with in the district court is absolutely abhorrent compared to her speeding fine, even though speeding like that in a residential area is obviously not good and people should be held accountable. So when you're like holding those two things side by side, like for me, I was like, well, it's a bit silly. But I do understand why they were doing it, and I was kind of happy that they were doing it because they're holding her accountable. Do you know what I mean? Even though, you know, obviously what she's being done with is comparatively a lot worse. I didn't think they'd ever drop it, just going like, oh, whatever. Like, I didn't think that. And I don't know, like, I can kind of understand it, but surely they're 2 different courts and surely they should just be dealing with 2 different things. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you want to, surely it should be so straightforward. I mean, yeah, Ruby Franke probably came in and she probably said not guilty again, in which case it will just get dragged out and out and out, and maybe the courts just can't be bothered to deal with that, which I do understand. If she just went in and she was like, guilty, okay, give me a speeding ticket or give me a fine, then I can understand their thought process, you know, her just coming in and being like, yeah, whatever. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, is it a bit stupid people discussing this? Yeah, fair enough, sure, okay, it would be to the average person, but this is like, I don't know, I don't feel like they should have dropped it, but I can understand if she is hell-bent on going, I'm not guilty. If she's saying she's not guilty to a speeding offence, I don't even want to know what the kind of stuff, the kind of crap she's going to be coming out with in court. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys feel like, because I'm just a little bit, I don't know, I'm a little bit confused by the whole thing. Like, what was even the point of going into court in the very first place? Although we do have this spicy new picture of Ruby, and I won't lie, seeing a new picture of her is just like chef's kiss, because we were all blessed with, obviously, I say blessed, I'm not saying that this situation is something to be happy about. I'm saying that looking at her, seeing her look so miserable and just like run down, she obviously hasn't had her hair done, she's obviously going to be like, skin's going to be dry as hell, can't get her nails done, can't even get like proper good shower wash in there, do you know what I mean? Like, looking at her, like seeing her look so run down, knowing what she's done to her kids, that does make me kind of happy, like knowing that we've now got a new updated picture. I also just wanted to hop on, and I really hope that this has actually been all right with the microphone. Please let me know down in the comments, because I'm not very good with like setting up equipment. Anyway, so what I did actually really want to talk to you guys about as well is the coverage of the sisters, and then I think I'm going to leave 8-passenger content for like a little while until, you know, bigger updates come on. What I wanted to talk to you guys about was just like the sisters and the commentary that is being done and that I've done on the sisters, and you know, this and that. And for the most part, people are very split. People are like either for what the sisters done, for not, whatever. I feel like we've talked about this enough. But then occasionally I will get these comments, and I don't even seek them out. It's just that sometimes on my phone, like if I go onto my YouTube studio, it will then like throw up a few comments that you haven't replied to. And I can't get to everyone's comment. I literally can't even act like I can. But occasionally, like I've seen a couple and it's just been like, so like, how can you so are you for child exploitation then? Like, how can you feel sorry for them when they've exploited their children and X, Y, and Z? And I feel like I don't like the way that some of the sisters have gone about the handling of what's gone on, in the sense that some of them have like started showing their kids again, and I really, really, really disagree with that. And, you know, I do side-eye a lot of their past content. I was never a big avid viewer of any of them, so I can't really give examples. But of course, I'm against child exploitation. I'm against people putting their kids out on the internet. However, if I ever do have a moment where I'm like, yeah, shit, I really do feel sorry for this person because they're showing like a glimpse of vulnerability, or that you can see they're visibly upset, you know, I will say it. I feel like you can feel sorry for someone, or you can feel bad that someone is hurting, but then also not agree with everything that they've ever done. I don't feel like they have to be mutually exclusive. And that's just my take on it. Like, I'm dead against people exploiting their children online, and it's part of what I talk about over on my channel. But at the same time, if someone's coming out and someone is, you know, because as much as everyone, you know, hates it, family, of course, like has gone through a shift, because none of them truly knew what was going on. So you've got to, so in my head, like, I feel bad for the family knowing that they have to live with the fact that is what Ruby did. And some of them will come on and some of them will be very upset, whilst at the same time trying to make it a little bit about them, which I don't know. I just don't care. And like, I'm just sort of like, but I do feel that I feel like you can feel sorry for what someone is saying or how someone is feeling, whilst also kind of going, okay, I understand that you're upset, I feel sorry for you in that situation, but I don't like the way that you have done X, Y, and Z. I feel like you can do both. And I do feel like on YouTube, a lot of people want to try and pick a side, or people want to try and be as hardline as possible. So they're like, if you think this and you can't think that, and like, it's very cut and dry, especially when you talk about child exploitation, or if you talk about more serious topics. People just get really just cut and dry. God, I sounded like bloody Johnny what's his face there for a minute. But do you see what I mean? And I feel like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can't ever be cut and dry. I'm very, and some people might even like call that flaky, and I've been called flaky in the past because I will have a hard stance on something and then I'll be like, oh, because I feel, I don't even think I'm the most empathic person, or maybe I am but I just don't realize it. And that's not to say other people are empathic, but it's just I'm not very cut and dry like that with the way that people feel. I can kind of differentiate, what's the word, like people's actions and then people's emotions, and I can kind of be like, I feel sorry for you right there, but I don't agree with X, Y, and Z. And I feel like I can do that, but a lot of people don't want to do that. It's not necessarily the case that people can't. I just think it's the fact that, like, especially as it's online, people kind of have like a real hard-walled approach, and that's just the way I think about it. You know, you can feel sorry for someone, but then also don't agree with their actions. And that's just that's literally what I've kind of always been a bit like that, and I've been very much like that in a lot of my YouTube commentary. So sometimes people will get annoyed and they'll just be like, well, how come you're all of a sudden going soft? Like, I remember with Alicia Doherty for a little while, I had loads of people calling me flaky because I felt bad for her during the whole like bye mum thing. I don't know, this is completely irrelevant if you don't know who I'm talking about, but yeah, and I'll always be like that, and that's not any I don't know. And so, yeah, some people just don't like that, and that's totally fair enough. But no, I'm against child exploitation 100,000,010%. Otherwise I wouldn't talk about it so much. Obviously, like, why would I waste my time talking about it if I wasn't actually interested in it or I didn't believe in it? That's just stupid. That's the complete and utter waste of time. But I can also feel sorry for the way that people are feeling in that moment, as long as it's true emotion, and most of the time I can tell if it's true or if it's not. Do you know, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I say I want to try and keep my hands still, but my hand's over here. Anyway, that's pretty much all I really wanted to say about this whole thing. I really hope this microphone has been good. I actually found it, I ended up, this is like my little segment where I start rambling off, but I found this on Amazon because I did actually, like, I went and I got this, like, I don't know, I think it was like £70 or £80 microphone, and it arrived and it was not compatible. Like, I filmed my phone, it was only compatible if you had a computer and and I was like, my computer's so old and so dead, I can't do this anymore. So I ended up sending it back. I then tried to get a different one, didn't arrive, had to get a refund, and now I literally found this on Amazon, and how cute is that? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.